Let's go in depth on this issue now with Maricopa County, Arizona Sheriff Joe Arpaio joining us live from Phoenix this morning. Joe, we thank you for your time.
Thanks, JD.
Now, Joe, we're already hearing the administration come back and say, oh, no. These millions of green cards, we're just getting them ready for any number of reasons, not for executive amnesty. How would you evaluate that response from President Obama's people?
Well, they've been given get out of jail free pass cards already, especially in the jails that I run, when you have 4,000 illegal aliens charged with state crimes, some with murder, and they keep coming back over and over again. There's something wrong. Either they're being deported and they keep hopping the fence, or they're let out the back door. I kind of think they're let out the back door. 36% of the 4,000 illegal aliens have come back. Last month, 25 times a guy has come back. Come on. So they have, something's wrong. I wrote to the Homeland Security Secretary 3 times. I want something done about it. The local media will not cover this story, or the national. I can't believe why. This is a big story when we can prove. We can prove they keep coming back to the jails that I run.
Joe, what you had to say receives a hearty second from talk radio host Rush Limbaugh. Let's take a listen to what Rush had to say on a possible executive amnesty, then I'll get your reaction to it.
Meaning, we're not even going to deport convicted criminals. There are 167,000 of them. So apparently, not only do we need illegal immigrants to do the work Americans will no longer do, we need illegal aliens to commit the crimes Americans will no longer commit. And this is under the radar.
Well, Joe, we hear Rush Limbaugh there. You have talked about someone ending up in your jail who has come back, what now, 25 times. Why this effort on the part of the federal government to ignore and fail to enforce immigration law?
I don't know. I'm just asking them to look into it. I'll be happy to assist. 150 of my deputies and officers went through 6 months training and were able to enforce the illegal immigration laws. Of course, the Homeland Security previous one took that authority away from me. By the way, JD, I was at the border a couple of days ago, where you and I were for years ago, to try to talk to the Mexican authorities. I'll tell you what's sad. All the top law enforcement officials told me don't go into Mexico. I wanted to go in there. I was a director there many years ago. But isn't it sad that law enforcement is afraid to cross that border and go into Mexico?
Well, you have that.
I just can't believe it.
That situation on the border grows increasingly dangerous. And not only in terms, forgive me, there's no way to lessen the notion of, quote, traditional crime. And I don't want to try to dress it up and make it respectable, but when you think about the national security risks on our border, are you just mystified by this inaction, by this failure to take control of our border situation?
Yeah, there's a lot of politics involved. You know that. It's an economic problem, intelligence problem. It's a leadership problem. The president sets the tempo. He's not setting too good of a tempo right now when we talk about crime and illegal immigration. So it starts from the top. But what can we do about it right now? I don't know. I have some special initiatives going on, and I'm not going to talk about it, but that's why I went to the border. I did talk to 4 federal officers. I had to stick my arms through the fence to shake their hands, but we have to do something about it. I'm going to tell you something, JD. We can keep talking about illegal immigration. There's another issue that not many people are talking about. It's the drug problem. I spent 57 years fighting that problem all over the world. We have a drug problem. We have a heroin epidemic going on, and I don't see much interest from the White House about catching dope peddlers coming across our border from Mexico.
Well, I tell you what, Joe, we were going to ask you to stay, and after we come back on the other side of this break, we will talk more about what is going on in terms of the lack of border security and the increase in illicit drugs coming into the United States. Stay with us. Our conversation with America's toughest sheriff continues here on America's Forum.